presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Just when you thought it couldn't get more exciting at Comerica Park, last night happened. J.D. Martinez throws out Jay Bruce, trying to score the tying run in the ninth inning. Bruce out at home plate. The Tigers get the win, and today they go for the sweep. It is another gorgeous day for baseball here in the Motor City. Welcome to Comerica Park. Final game today featuring the Mets and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Tampa, glad to have you with us here this afternoon. The Tigers going for the sweep of the Mets. Of course, the Tigers, although they had good news last night in winning the ball game, they will have some challenges going forward now. Nick Castellanos broke his hand last night, so Castellanos placed on the 15-day disabled list. It was also announced the Tigers have placed Jordan Zimmerman on the DL as well. McGee is recalled from AAA, so is Kyle Ryan. And Daniel Norris will start this week on Tuesday in Seattle. So a lot happening with the Tigers. As we bring in my partner, Kurt Gibson. Now, Gibby, going forward, the Tigers were able to get through without J.D. Martinez. Now they'll have to do it without Nick Castellanos.
Well, we're going to find out just how good we are. J.D. was out. The Tigers were 23-6. How did they do it? Steven Moya came up. Mike Aviles became a right fielder. Andrew Romine slipped over there into center field. How about Tyler Collins? He came in and did a heck of a job. Can't get him out of the lineup now. Now with Nick out, you're going to add Casey McGee to the mix, and hopefully they'll be able to get through this like they did without J.D.
All right, how about this ball club? Now, not only are they playing exciting games, but close games, a lot of one-run victories.
That's the most impressive thing about it. Since the All-Star game, 8 of their last 15 wins have been one-run games, 6-1 in their last 7. 4 of those have been one-run games. And they just do it every way. J-Up gets the 2-out walk. Now we get the 2-out hit. Tyler Collins advances to third, and all of a sudden Iggy's infield hit wins the game. That's doing the little things. Then on Wednesday, remember, J.D. Martinez comes back. Brad's got a hunch. He hits him. Pinch hit home run. Then Friday, J.B. goes to dealing. He punches out a couple right here. Then you get V-Mart with the 2-run home run. We win another one. And then last night, we just saw J.D. Martinez again. He does it every way he can do it. The accurate throw, Salty gets away with a little marginal block right there. The Tigers go on and win the game. They've done it by hitting, they played good D, they run the bases well, and they pitched good. It's finally coming together for the Tigers.
And hopefully it'll come together one more day as the Tigers close out this series here today against the New York Mets. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Coliseum Studios, check in with Justin White. Here's our matchup today. Jacob deGrom for the Mets, Anibal Sanchez for the Tigers. Stay with us, series finale next. Tigers and Mets wrap up this series. Anibal Sanchez on the mound for the Tigers, presented today by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Yeah, Jordan Zimmerman going on the DL, so Anibal Sanchez, a guy who was looking at moving to the bullpen, now in the starting rotation. Last three, averaged 6 innings per game. Been throwing the ball much better. Must get the secondary stuff over to see his numbers.
And the first pitch is in for a strike on Curtis Granderson. Here's the shift they play on against Curtis.
Grandy Man?
The Grandy Man.
Can't.
The 0-1 is a strike called on Granderson. Now it's 0-2 on the Mets leadoff man.
That's a good sign. The last time I did a Sanchez game, he had trouble with his breaking stuff early. He's dropped that one over for a good strike breaking ball.
Granderson looks at 3 straight, and down he goes. One gone. Here's the rest of the Mets lineup today, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You saw Granderson lead it off. He'll be followed by De Aza and Neil Walker, who's had some really good career numbers against the Tigers. Jay Bruce, the DH, Loney at first, Conforto is in left, and Darno, Johnson, Reynolds wrapping it up today for Terry Collins. Here is Alejandro De Aza. Pretty good start by Sanchez. Strikes out Granderson looking. And De Aza hammers it in the air toward left, slicing. Long run for Upton. He'll get there. 2 gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Beaumont Health. Jay up out there in left again. Tyler Collins in center field. JD Martinez, good to have him back in right. New guy at third, Casey McGee, taking over Nick. Iglesias and Romine up the middle. Miguel, of course, over at first base. James McCann behind the dish. He's put down the fingers for Anibal Sanchez.
Well, Castellanos out probably at least 4 weeks. That's what the Tigers are anticipating. So Casey McGee called up. He's got a lot of big league experience. Neil Walker takes all the way. It's a strike called, 0-1.
He does have some experience, and I tell you, remember he was outrighted earlier in the year by Detroit because they needed to make a move, and he re-signed. So he wants to be here, and he's going to be rewarded for his patience. Tigers in their front office has done a great job of giving the Tigers good options as far as depth should somebody get hurt. We've had a lot of injuries, and here Casey McGee, they plug him in for Nick Castellanos. Hopefully he can fill in very well.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Little chopper to the right side on the backhand there. Cabrera, Sanchez covers, and a 1-2-3 first inning. Off here in the bottom of the first in a scoreless game. Tigers starting lineup today presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Kinsler gets the day off today, so it's Collins, Iglesias, and Cabrera. Vmart DHing JD Martinez since June the 3rd has been on fire. Up then is at left. You've got McGee, McCann, and Romine wrapping it up for the Tigers in their starting 9. They're facing the right-handed slants of Jacob deGrom.
They call him the deGrominator. You see a record of 7-5, ERA at 2.41. Very tough. Has allowed 1 or fewer runs 33 times in his 71 career starts. He's been started slow actually earlier this year, throwing the ball very good as of late, and the slider is a knockout slider, wipeout slider. It's going to be the pitch the Tigers are going to have to hit.
So here's Collins in the leadoff slot here today, and he'll look at a strike called. Top of the strike zone, 0-1.
93, 94 on the heater. Slider will come in 88 to 90.
Tyler Collins has done a good job since coming up from AAA, and when JD Martinez was activated off the DL, Collins played so well that he is still here.
Had a good game last night again. He's very athletic, does a lot of little things to help the Tigers win ball games. Can play all 3 outfield positions, can steal you a base. We saw him move up on a throw to win the game on the Iglesias infield single.
2-1 is a strike on the outer edge, 2-2. Tyler last night was on base 4 times in the ballgame. 8 hits on the homestand for the Tigers leadoff man today. And a foul back out of play. So the Tigers saw Syndergaard in game 1. They are seeing deGrom here in game 3. 2 of the top starters for the Mets, and deGrom having a good season.
Well, he really is, and we'll talk about this throughout the game. The Mets going to the postseason last year. A lot of these young pitchers. It was a slow start for him, and deGrom is one of the slow starters as Collins goes down on strikes. Let's take a look at the Mets starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. In the outfield, Michael Conforto, Alejandro Diaza in center, Curtis Granderson over at right, Kelly Johnson at third, Matt Reynolds and Neil Walker up the middle, James Loney at first, and Travis d'Arnaud be catching today, receiving from Jacob deGrom.
Here is Iglesias with 1 out. .251 batting average for Iglesias. In the absence of Cameron Maybin, who is not playing again today, you've got Iggy up to the 2-hole. Normally can be found in the 9 spot, and there's Cameron. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
Yeah, that thumb is still a little sore. They're going to take some extra time and let it get right. See just a little piece of tape on it there.
And while Maybin certainly makes the offense go, they've done pretty well without him, so that's the good news.
Well, I think what you're seeing is the Tiger team coming together.
Chop to the third baseman, right through the legs of Kelly Johnson. A routine play, and it went right through the legs.
I think this ball stays down. You expect it to come up. Does it hit the edge there? Yep, see, I think it hit the lip. Just stay down. You anticipate it to come up. Hit right on the edge of the grass and the dirt surface right there. So we'll take it. Got a runner on first. Nobody, one down.
And that'll bring up Miguel Cabrera, who remains red hot. Miggy's average now is up to .311. And he sits safely in 6 consecutive games.
I believe he leads the American League with RBI since the All-Star game, 21. You look at how the Tigers have been covering up for their injuries. JD out first, now Nick. Miguel Cabrera is heating up against righties and left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, it used to be where lefties were giving Cabrera fits. He was below 200 for much of the year against lefties, but that has changed.
Yeah, now at about 243.
deGrom ready with the 0-1. On the ground to the shortstop should be 2. Reynolds to Walker, on to first, a double play. Inning over, 6-4-3, and we go to the second. Here are the easiest remaining schedules in the American League. You'll see the Tigers, only the Rangers have an easier schedule down the stretch.
Well, that's what the, I guess that's one way to use the criteria to, are we going to get to the playoffs or not? But that means little. These guys know that they have to play everybody out, especially in September, Mario, because the rosters expand so much. It's a much harder game to manage against.
And leading it off is Jay Bruce here in the second in a scoreless game.
See the shift by the Tigers on Jay Bruce.
The 0-1 pitch in there, and now 0-2, and Sanchez doing a good job of throwing strikes.
7 out of 8, 8 out of 9 pitches have been strikes so far. I like this pitch right here.
Swing and a miss. Boy, Sanchez looking good early.
Looks like the fastball is pretty lively today. Sees the late movement on there, tailing away. They wanted to get that ball inside. It's a two-seamer. You can see by the grip. It just takes off. Jay Bruce can't catch up. Remember back when I talked to the Toronto players after Sanchez threw in that game when we were in Toronto, they said his fastball was pretty electric early in the game. Looks like it's come out again. Very lively.
Well, you know it's in there. As Loney stands in, 0-1 on Loney.
The other thing you notice is the pace in which Anibel's throwing the ball. He's getting on. He knows what he wants to do. It appears his confidence is coming back.
That is the most significant change, I think, is the pace with which he's throwing the baseball. The 0-1 is a strike called 0-2.
Loney with 2 strikes likes to go the other way. We're going to throw the ball on the outside part of the plate. He's going to take it that way.
Ooh, that one just missed.
How did he take that pitch?
I don't know.
Just been fire and strikes. That's a really good changeup. Good life on that. Good downward action.
11 of the first 12 that he threw were strikes, and he took a close one. Now the 1-2. That's off the plate again. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the former Dodger James Loney and the former Tampa Bay Ray. .290 batting average, a 6-game hitting streak. Here's the 2-2. Lofted toward left center field. That ball is going to get down. Base hit. And so it'll be a 1-out single, first hit of the ball game for the Mets.
Yeah, James Loney's a pretty good outspeed hitter. When you get 2 strikes on him, he stays on this. Good length on the swing, and this ball jumps back on Tyler Collins. Look at, he bare hands it. You get that spin on that ball, you have to anticipate that. Ball almost got away, but Tyler makes a pretty good athletic play, holds Loney to a single.
Fortunately, that ball didn't roll by him, or would have rolled for a little bit. There's a strike called on Michael Conforto. Getting his first start of the series. Conforto came on late in the ball game last night. Pinch hit, had a single, finished 1 for 2.
Here's a kid that came to the big leagues not too long after college. Had a great year last year.
Hammered to right field, and right there is JD Martinez.
Has struggled this year.
Hey, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites. Now being served all day.
V-Mart.
You got V-Mart, huh? Okay. I will take. You know what I'm going to do today, Gibby?
What are you going to do?
I'm going with the new guy, Casey McGee.
Good choice.
He's going to make a splash.
But the way the Tigers are playing, it could be anybody, and they all believe that.
Excellent point, and it has been over the last couple of nights. 1 ball and no strikes on Travis d'Arnaud. 243 in the batting average column for the Mets catcher. Loney modest lead at first. And Darno fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers have won the first 2 in this series. It has been a really good homestand, an exciting homestand for the Tigers. They played in front of a sellout crowd last night here at the ballpark. And they are now 61-49. Just missed outside. 2-1.
Boy,
is there a better place to be than right here?
Looking good. Fans looking for some more excitement. The Tigers have been providing tons of it as of late. All really started back into the Boston series on the road.
High fly ball left field. That'll be routine for Upton. And it nestles into his glove for round number 3. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. Jeep, who invites you to check out the great deals on Jeep vehicles now until August 11th. And by Kroger. This one is sizing up to be a pretty good pitching matchup. DeGrom and Sanchez. Anibal looking really good so far. Meanwhile, DeGrom got a big double play ball in the first inning.
Kind of into Miggy's kitchen a little bit. One thing you learn to recognize is Miggy makes good adjustments from at bat to bat, as does Victor.
First one is high and away to Martinez.
This is normal. You got the shift here at the right side of the diamond. Playing Victor to pull. Tell you, Victor yesterday was down at the game and he just looked so comfortable up there yesterday. That first at bat especially is just thought he was going to do some damage. Didn't happen, but he has done some good damage in the last week.
You know, the one thing about him, Gibby, and Rod and I were talking about this last night, he gives you a battle in every single at bat. He never gives away at bats, and I would think that as opposing pitcher, you know, you're just going to have to grind through this guy because he's going to battle you.
Yeah, he doesn't chase a lot of off-speed pitches, change-ups, sliders, especially when he gets 2 strikes. You know, he can foul pitches off. He picks it up very quickly.
Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Martinez.
Got beat on a pretty good placed fastball right there, up and away, 94 miles an hour.
Three and two.
It's a pretty good take right there. Ball looks like it's going to be right there in the zone, like a fastball, like the previous pitch he threw right by him. And Victor letting it travel, gets a good look at it, takes that pitch.
Lifted to left field, slicing, and a foul ball. Well, Victor looking for a double the opposite field, but it went foul.
Even though they have the shift on him, you get the two-strike approach. This ball is just foul. He can hit it line to line. Just sliced a lot at the end there. Good hitters, you got to let it travel a little bit deeper. It might be susceptible to not get the good part of the bat on the ball, but you stay alive in case the pitcher makes a mistake and you can do some more damage.
Slice to left center, that'll get down a base hit. Victor is on with the first Tigers hit of the game. Check in with the third member of our crew here this afternoon. Craig Monroe's hanging out in some familiar territory. Simo, you're out back in left field.
Yes, sir, I am, guys. Thank you for having me again. Yeah, I'm out here in left field. Hopefully, I give y'all a little different perspective. Talk about the outfield, where they're positioning themselves, if they're, pretty much moving in sync. Jay up, listening to Tyler Collins. It should be fun out here.
All right, we look forward to that different type of perspective. That's where Simo is.
Now, Simo, he played a lot of left field, so that's why he likes it out there. I'm sure I would go to the right field because that was my favorite position.
I got a lot of love out here, Gibby.
You don't need no more love. You get plenty of that, don't you?
Yeah, I do. You're right. The Tiger fans have been great to me since I've been here.
Yeah, they are good. They don't forget.
They don't.
JD Martinez is batting here after the leadoff single by Victor Martinez. Careful down there, Simo. JD likely to hit one out there.
I'd like that. I welcome that.
Yeah. Did you bring your glove?
No glove today.
DeGrom ready with a 1-0. And it's in for a strike, 1-1.
This is Simo's view right there. It's a good place to watch a game.
It really is. I got a bird's eye view of everything that's going on. Hopefully, like I said, I could talk about the outfielders making some moves, the ball down the line. I could maybe tell you if it's fair or foul. I'm on the line.
Could give us some scoops from that bullpen down there.
Oh, that for sure.
It'll go foul down the third base line. 1 ball and 2 strikes on JD Martinez.
So you know that I got challenged, and we won't do any barking or anything like that today. They did want me to do some meowing today, which I deferred to somebody else. So Simo, you might be on the docket to do a challenge. All
right, I'm up for a challenge.
No, Simo, don't bite. Don't bite. He's just baiting you right now.
He's good at that. He's good at it.
He's the king. 1-2, JD Martinez. And low and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, DeGrom right now is in one of his better stretches. He has 15 consecutive scoreless innings going. And coming off a really good start his last time out. So the Tigers facing a good one today, but they beat Syndergaard in the first game of the series. Now the 2-2. Bouncing ball towards short. This might be another double play. A 6-4-3. That's the second one now that DeGrom has induced in this game.
Yeah, he's got good life on that fastball. Ball just runs in, well placed. JD tries to pull his hands in, but can't get it in the air.
So a 2-out, that'll bring up Justin Upton. Upton batting .239 with 13 home runs. He has seen DeGrom a little bit. He's 2-for-12 against him. Tigers, for the most part, don't have a whole lot of history against these pitchers in this series. And a ball up high to Upton.
Good microphone there. Hear that?
Pick up everything.
Somebody down there doesn't like the hot sun at the ball game.
It's fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. It is a warm, but it's a beautiful afternoon here at Comerica Park. Game time temp was 80 degrees. Nothing but sunshine this afternoon.
Feels cool here compared to the last couple of weeks.
Boy, it sure does. 1-2 on Upton. And I think players probably appreciate that when you get to the month of August where you don't have that oppressive humidity and heat that can kind of bring you down.
Yeah, the heat is one thing, but the humidity, that's an unwelcome addition.
Now the 1-2. Jay up lays off 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Casey McGee just up from Toledo. Of course, Nick Castellanos broke has a fracture in his left hand. Tigers are thinking 4 to 6 weeks.
A little bit outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Just trying to watch DeGrom's delivery. Very tall, as you can see, long limbs. And you look at 94, 96 miles an hour. When you're that tall, it plays up from that speed, probably more like 97, 98. He's got kind of a slow rocking back motion, then he just comes at you. Appears to hide the ball well, and he's got movement on it.
National League Rookie of the Year in 2014. Had an ERA of 2.69 that year. And he lost in ball 4.
Well, we were talking about Casey McGee last night in the 4th inning. Castellanos on a 2-strike. You're hanging in there, and this ball just gets away. It ends up hitting him on the 5th metatarsal, I believe.
Metacarpal.
Is that metacarpal? Tarsal, is that toes?
That's feet. Tarsals are toes. Carpals are hands.
And went in for an X-ray. He came out of the game, and unfortunately, he's got the fracture.
So McGee, who was raking down in Toledo, and he looks at a strike on the outer edge. Casey's a guy that has extensive major league experience. The Cubs, Milwaukee, San Francisco, Miami,
Detroit,
and now Detroit. He had 1 pinch hitting appearance earlier this year when he was up before being sent back down. The 0-1. A little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Mario Gibby, we've got some action out here in the left field. Conforto is listening to Diaz, the center fielder here. They've actually shifted over to the right side. They're playing him the opposite way. They're playing McGee the opposite way.
Well, that's been the scouting report on Casey McGee is pretty much his whole career. He can't handle the bat. Now we do have 2 outs, so you wouldn't put anybody in motion, but Casey McGee is a guy that you could put a guy in motion. He hits it to the right side of the field very well. Put the bat on the ball.
That is Conforto in left and Diaz in center.
Yeah, some outfielders communicate a lot. They get pitches from the infield as well. But you hear anything out there, Simo?
No, nothing yet.
In there, a strike called. 1-2 on McGee.
So, for instance, when Tram and I played, I'd get it from center field. He would do something with his foot. He'd just make a movement. I knew it was either a fastball or an off speed. And if it was an off speed, I would tell Simo over in left field. We'd have something worked out. If I didn't say anything, it was a fastball. If I did say something, it was off speed. So you can adjust where you're playing based upon where you see the catcher set up.
So you guys just weren't out there in the outfield picking dandelions, were you?
No, not at all.
But that it didn't happen every year, but that was pretty advanced stuff. And Roger Craig, the pitching coach, encouraged that. He's like, he wanted to encourage his pitchers to hit the location. So we would play in a certain spot, and based upon where we knew he was throwing a fastball in right now, if I was in right field, I would cheat in. Because if he gets it in there, it should be a bloop. If he misses it, we'll have to go pick it up. But that was Roger's point.
On the ground to the shortstop. Reynolds has it there. They'll get the force at second to end the inning. No runs, they hit a walk, and 1 man left. All right, guys, here it is, a scoreless game as we go to the third. It's 0-1 on Kelly Johnson, who's getting things started here against Sanchez. Honeywell gave up a single in the second, no damage. 1 ball and 1 strike on Kelly Johnson. Johnson, Reynolds, and Granderson here in the Mets third. Now the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Johnson against Sanchez.
Sanchez has held the upper edge, only 172. Kelly against Anibal.
2 balls and 2 strikes now on Johnson.
Still have to respect Kelly Johnson, though. He's got a little bit of sock in his bat. He'll jump you if you hang one.
Pulled on the ground to second, and right there is Romine. 1 away. Time now for T-Mobile's greater coverage of baseball and some happenings around the big leagues. Well, they just talked about Alex Rodriguez.
Yep, that's interesting. Ichiro going for 3,000. Almost had it last night, just barely. You see the throw that Arenado got him on. And Ken Griffey Jr. retired his jersey last night. I guess that was a pretty festive affair. First Mariner to have it retired by the team.
Yeah, great player.
Yeah.
Matt Reynolds stepping in. We're also joined by Craig Monroe today, who's hanging out in his old position out in left field. We're going to talk to Simo about a couple of things in terms of outfield play this half inning. And Craig, one of the things I've noticed about Justin Upton out there in left field is he seems to play deeper than most left fielders.
Well, a lot of times when guys do that, Mario, they're a little uncomfortable going back on the baseball. They're more comfortable coming in on the ball, and maybe that's the case with Justin Upton. One of the things as an outfielder I like to do, it was read the bat angles. I think especially for a left fielder, it's important for everybody, but being a left fielder, watching the bat angle, if the bat heads out front, you know the ball's coming your way, you can get that jump that you need to make a play. And then also when the ball's away, you can see the swing. Guys stand inside the ball, you can see that, and then you can start to drift and kind of cheat the opposite way. And I think Justin does an outstanding job of that as well.
Yeah, J-Up he's run down a lot of balls that would have been over many left fielders' head.
There's a swing and a miss, and Reynolds goes down.
So he's made that choice, and I think the Tigers are trying to stop with the big left center field alley as well. They're trying to stop the extra base hits. They'll concede more of the singles. And Simo's was exactly right. You start with the scouting report. And this is a long way out this way. You want to be able to cover that and try and cut these balls that are hit on the line off. But you have a scouting report, and that's a starting point. But as he says, you read those bats.
And here's a shallow fly to left. That's going to drop in, a little bloop single for Granderson.
Always make the adjustment. Now there's maybe a case where if he's playing in, he maybe catches that. I don't think he had caught that ball, but a ball like that. Good pitch by Sanchez, and Grandy just gets a little blooper.
That'll bring up De Asa. Simo, how much was the sun a factor in this ballpark during day games when you played here? Was it any worse? Was it the same as most other parks?
No, it's about the same. During the day, it's just tough to see the baseball, especially with the Tiger Den. A lot of white Tiger jerseys. It makes it tough at times to pick up the baseball. A little nugget out here, guys.
So those windows up in there, that's what he's talking about. You get some glare off those windows.
The guys out here and Tyler Collins playing a little hack sack or something after that after the out. Thought that was pretty funny. These guys are kicking the ball around, Collins and catching it on his shoulder and kind of flipping it back. They're having a little fun out here.
So you got all three.
You got Upton in left. You've got Collins in center with Maben out, and of course you got JD back in right field.
When you come down to the game, just fix yourself on outfielders for a while. Watch what they do.
There's a strike called 0-2.
Sometimes you get a little lonely out there. You really have to control your mind and be ready in case a play comes to you. You get into a long inning or a pitcher that really slows down. After you've played 13 out of 14 games, it is quite challenging.
0-2 on Diaz, and no score. We're in the third. And that is popped up. Third base sign. Let's see if McGee has a play. Apparently he does. That'll end the inning. No runs. A 2-out single is stranded. We go to the bottom of the third.
Third, and last night the injury bug got a hold of the Tigers when Nick Castellanos was hit by a pitch in the left hand by a fastball from Logan Barrett. Not only about 20 minutes after he was hit in the hand, he went into the locker room to get x-rays. Casey McGee from AAA Toledo was pulled from the game not 20 minutes after Nick was hit by that pitch, and now he's here today. Came all the way from Indianapolis for today's game. The x-rays did reveal a non-displaced fracture of the 5th metacarpal of Nick Castellanos' hand. His timetable, like you said, Gibby, is 4 to 7 weeks, but the thing that I wanted to mention was obviously Castellanos. You hate to see a guy like that leave when the team is making a playoff push. He was clearly out of his mind last night because he left his wallet and a necklace that he always wears in his locker, and a club he had to get it out for him and go return that to him after the game. So obviously our thoughts were with him, and hope he returns soon.
All right, Kristen, yes, thanks. Yeah, Gibby, I think that Castellanos really, has to concentrate on getting back as quickly as he can. But the one thing about this Tigers team is that they are still, I think, deep enough, and they were able to get through, as we talked on the open about the injury to J.D. Martinez. They worked through that, and there's certainly still enough talent on this team to keep it rolling.
Well, there is. I think they have the belief. That's the biggest battle that you have to fight through, and you get like these little things that come up, these injuries, scheduling things. You run into a lot of number 1 pitchers, and you deal with them, they can wear you out. But the Tigers seem to be pretty seasoned, and they've been very steady throughout the year. And I would expect, though they will miss Nick, that they'll power their way through this period right here, and Nick will come back, and they'll take their time to get it right, and he'll make a contribution. The frustrating thing is that you finally had the team together, right?
Right. Exactly. Right back to the mound, and Romine is going to be thrown out. 2 up, 2 down. And that's exactly what Brad said the other day, that, look, it's great getting Zimmerman back. It's great getting J.D. back, but we've got to stay healthy the rest of the way. And then lo and behold, Nick gets hurt that night. So
and also Alex Wilson took a shin burger off the bat last night. That could have been a bad injury as well. He got hit very hard just below the knee. Actually, it turned out to be muscular on his calf. When that happened, I was thinking, oh boy, this could be one of those games. Unfortunately, or I should say fortunately, that was not the case.
It looked horrible off of his leg and the way he reacted immediately, but then apparently got the feeling back in his leg and turned out to be all right. So Tigers certainly thankful for that.
I don't know if you've noticed a lot of early swings in the counts. Have you noticed that?
I have noticed that.
Now, what does that tell you about DeGrom?
want to get behind the ground.
He got real good stuff.
That ball is off the bag into center field. A rocket hit back up the middle by Collins.
Well, Tyler Collins just keeps swinging the bat good right up the middle. Nice short stroke. 2-out single. And last night, Alex Wilson was just talking about it. In the 6th inning, takes a bullet. I mean, when it hit him, I saw him get up and run after. I thought, that's a good, that's good. But then you can see it settles in. He proved he's a tough kid. Continued to throw an inning, get the Tigers out of it. Turned the double play here. And got out of the inning. Kids are sliding over to make the play. I did not see him, but he's got to be a little tender today.
Saw him briefly in the locker room. He was walking all right, but you could tell it certainly stung a little bit. And we'll stay with him for a while.
Wouldn't be surprised if they give him a little break and stay away from him. He has thrown 2 out of the last 3 days, 2 1/3 innings 3 days ago. So rest that calf, that shin burger. Get a little rest and be ready to go in Seattle.
Jose Iglesias, the batter. DeGrom's 0-1, bunted. It's going to be DeGrom to take it, and he threw it away. Collins will go to third, and he's in there standing up. Wow, the speed of Iglesias forcing a quick throw, and DeGrom threw it away.
This is good stuff. We've talked throughout the year about pressuring your opponent. You got Miguel Cabrera behind you. You got Tyler Collins on already. Iggy surprises the Mets. DeGrom tries to make a great play. Doesn't take his time. Throws it down into right field. On to third goes Tyler Collins. We've got first and third. 2 men out. Miguel Cabrera with a couple guys on again. And that's about as good a situation you could hope for if you're a Tigers fan.
Single E1, allowing the Tigers now to bring Cabrera up here with 2 outs.
Well, Iglesias has tried that a couple times and he's just barely got nipped at first base. I like the way he took his time there and didn't try and run too quickly and made a better bunt.
And Cabrera shoots one in the air down the right field line. It'll get back into the seats. MGM Grand Detroit brings you the scouting report.
Well, we're talking about who controls the opponent's 1 through 3 spots in the lineup, which generally are, you would have to argue, are your best 3 hitters. You can see DeGrom up there, Verlander up there, 185 batting average against. So he's pretty tough in these situations, but Miguel Cabrera has been pretty good in these situations as well. A classic matchup.
Ground ball to short on the backhand there, Reynolds. And that'll get Cabrera to end the inning. So the Tigers threaten, but they strand a couple. The Tigers have a road trip that'll bring them through Seattle Monday through Wednesday, and then after an off day on Thursday, it's on to Texas, and that's going to be a pretty good challenge when the Tigers go out west against a couple of pretty good teams.
It is. Seattle's playing pretty well out there, plus it's a long trip out. Then you go down to Texas. They are playing great. They got a 6.5 game lead over there, and then usually the flight home from Texas gets a little late.
Well, the Rangers did a lot to improve themselves at the trading deadline. So that'll be a very good team the Tigers will face. Neil Walker leads it off. And he'll take a ball outside. 1-1 on Walker. Jay Bruce to follow. Then James Loney in the 4th inning. No score. Tigers in search of a sweep here of the Mets. That'll bounce in. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Bill Miller jumping out of the way there. He's a little flinch. That's the home plate umpire. Texas 6.5 up on Houston. 6-4 in their last 10. Always hot down there. Tough place to play.
Bouncer slowly first base side, and he will simply tag the runner. 1 gone. Well, see the Tigers take on the Kansas City Royals August 15th through 17th. Get 4 tickets, hot dogs, chips, and drinks, all for just $19 per person. Beat that deal. It's the weekday value pack. Visit tigers.com/value or call 866-66-TIGER.
And hopefully you'll get to see another moment like we're watching there. A lot of them going on lately at Comerica Park.
Here's Jay Bruce. Swing and a miss.
That's a nice change up there. Bruce was guessing fastball. Got the cambio. Watch this ball. Good arm motion, quick. See, he just turns it over. Just disappears. Jay Bruce is thinking, that's where I like that fastball. Whoops. They call pulling the string.
That'll get back out of play. Now it's 0-2 on Bruce.
Well, back in the day, we always thought you wanted to establish in on Jay Bruce, get him thinking in, and then that would open that outside part of the plate up. Do not want to leave something middle in up to this guy. You got good power, can do damage.
Bruce has made 3 All-Star games, hit a lot of home runs in his seasons with the Cincinnati Reds, albeit a very good home run hitting ballpark, but still. And he was highly sought after again this year at the deadline, and the Mets able to get him. The 0-2 is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And watch it. If you're going to throw the changeup here, because I'm thinking he's going to go back to the off-speed pitch. Because he did throw it earlier in the count. Oh, there's the changeup.
That'll go to the backstop. 2-2.
Really slowed his motion down on that one.
Swing and a miss. Bruce out on strikes.
Boy, he really threw that one good. Kind of aimed the previous changeup. This one here. Throws it. Good arm action. Good movement. And Jay Bruce goes down. That was a good sequence right there. Threw him enough fastballs, then doubled up on the off-speed pitch. The changeup there and got him.
We have Simo out in left field today. Simo, one of the things I've noticed obviously is a lot of the infielders now with all the shifting certainly have to do a lot of shifting. They did there on Bruce. How much do you think that affects the outfielders?
Well, I think from an outfield standpoint, it doesn't affect you a whole lot. You go over your coach, you have your outfielders meeting before the series started. And so you have a really good idea of where you're going to play guys with 2 strikes. Obviously, they talk about moving to the opposite side. So it doesn't really affect you a lot, Mario.
There's a flare back out of play down the left field line. 0-2.
The only time I would think that it might be something in play is if you had the shift over to the right. We saw it the other day late in the plays made where the shortstop has to go this way, and then you have nobody to cover third base, and maybe the left fielder, if you're over that way playing opposite, that you would get yourself into a play or a run down, something like that.
Nice leaping play there by ROMINE, and how about Sanchez, a 1-2-3 fourth.
Clark, I have to tell you guys, the sweetest and coolest thing just happened to me out here in left field, Mario and Gibby. I reached out with a young lady about 2 years old, walks down and hands me a Propel agua, some water, guys, because she felt bad for me. She felt bad for me. The sun's hot, it's hot out here, and she brought me some water. Come on, guys, you have to love that story.
That's great, man.
That's great stuff.
We gotta get Simo a hat down there.
Victor Martinez looks at a strike. Simo, it's Miggy Bank Day today, I think, isn't it? You might want to throw a couple of nickels at her bank if she's got one over there.
I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
Man. That was the sweetest thing ever.
Very nice.
Absolutely loved it.
They love you down there, man.
I love them back, though, Mario. Yep. That's the cool thing about it. I love them back.
Here's the 0-1 to Victor, and his sliced foul out of play. 0-2 the count on Martinez. DeGrom and Sanchez have both thrown up zeros so far. It'll be Victor, then JD, and then Justin Upton. Here's DeGrom's 0-2. Another pop-up foul. This one again back into the seats. DeGrom was an all-star last year, coming off a really good start. 7 scoreless innings in his last outing against the crosstown rivals, the Yanks. This is the perspective that Craig has out beyond the left field wall. Now the 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. JD Martinez waiting on deck. Victor had a single in the second, but was erased on a double play. And DeGrom has had 2 of those turned behind him today. Another foul back out of play is what we're talking about, man. Victor just will continue to wear you down.
He's not going to give in easily, that's for sure. He's going to put some pitches on your pitch count. Just kind of hanging around, waiting for a mistake. And you have to realize that Victor certainly does as many at-bats as he's had in his big league career. You just cannot hit every ball hard for a hit. So that's why you just try and spoil him. You don't get greedy.
Low 2-2.
Good take there. A lot of guys that swing at that. They're throwing a couple fastballs. Obviously he's sneaky. You want to cheat. You want to get that bat started early, but Victor stays disciplined. Make sure he gets that little extra 1/100th of a second or 1/1000th, whatever it is. lays off that nasty breaking ball down to the dirt.
Grounded foul. It's one of the things that I think is hard to explain to fans, how difficult it is and how little time you have to make decisions as a hitter.
The big thing about a hitter is, in general, nobody wants to get beat by the fastball. They don't want to miss the fastball. It's just the mindset, okay? So you tend to try and get the bat head out a little further out in front, but that makes you susceptible to the off-speed pitch.
Line drive to center. Another base hit for Victor Martinez.
Let's take a look at Big Boy's big play of the game. We're going to go back to last night, and the last play of the game, and J.D. Martinez. I'm going to break it down a little bit. Look how much right here, he does the distance. He cuts it down by using his feet. You see the eye on the ball. Good exchange, good throw. And look at Salty here. Can we run it back just a little bit? Look at here. Now this is borderline blocking the plate. Remember when they first came out with that new rule?
Right.
We'd never get away with that. But that directs the runner, Jay Bruce, just far enough out to the outside that he misses the plate with his front foot, and Salty can put the tag on him.
Mets did not challenge that play. It ended the game. And the Tigers ended up winning game 2.
Yeah, I was fairly surprised we didn't get a challenge. I was sitting over watching it in the press box, and I thought, oh boy, they're going to go get the earmuffs on. But they walked off the field. I couldn't believe it. But Tigers got the win on that very good defensive play by JD.
Simo, JD was asked, what did you like better, hitting the walk-off, or not the walk-off, but the game-winning home run against Chris Sale the other night, or throwing a guy out to end the ball game? What would be more exciting for you, or what was in your career?
Well, they're both pretty darn exciting, but I have to admit the will and the want to play defense, to throw somebody out to end the game would have to be at the top of my list.
That was a pretty cool moment. JD made a nice one-hop throw, and his whole approach charging that baseball, and he executed it perfectly.
The thing you have to understand about with the throw, which you don't need, you take it for granted every time, and Simo knows this, that was a very fieldable ball that he threw.
Yes.
Many times you make a good throw, or it looks like it's on target, right, Simo? But you eat the guy up. That was a fieldable throw right there.
Well,
easy for him to pick.
He really did, and he also went out and, with the glove giving, went out and got that ball and created the hop that he really wanted, so he can make a clean transfer to his glove, from his glove to his hand. I love the footwork, though, in which he was able to get rid of the baseball extremely fast, with a lot on it, and an accurate throw. And that's something for me that has been lost, Gibby, in the game today, where we're seeing outfielders overthrow cutoff men, not being able to throw the ball to the bases efficiently. And so to see JD last night make an outstanding throw, and it was accurate and right on the money, that got me pumped up a little bit.
Rolled foul. You mentioned something there, Simo, footwork. How much is footwork a part of outfield play, and not even just throwing a guy out of the play, but maybe getting a jump?
Well, footwork in the outfield is everything. A lot of times it goes unnoticed, but guys do countless hours of changing and making sure that they're getting the baseball in amped amount of time. You talk about throwing guys out. You don't really throw them out with your arm. You throw them out with your legs, getting to the baseball fast and getting rid of it. Because when you look at the third base coach, when you're in the outfield and there's a ground ball and there's going to be a play, the third base coach he doesn't know how hard you threw the ball. He just sees you let it go. And if you can get there quickly and get rid of the baseball quick, he's going to hold the guy up.
That's exactly right. It's a good point. Sometimes it's the perception that you're going to get the guy. Now, obviously, the third base coach is going to send that guy 10 out of 10 times in last night's situation.
That ball hammered to left, base hit. Tigers have put together 2 really good at-bats here in the 4th inning. 2 on, nobody out.
But JD, I tell you, it's been impressive how well he swung the bat since he came back. He had that 6-7 week layoff, contributing again today. 2 on here in the bottom of the 4th.
Gibby, you have to love JD Martinez's approach, and obviously Victor Martinez is one of the best in the game at it as well. Staying inside the ball, finding the barrel of the bat, being able to put it on the ball. I've been so impressed with him the last 2 years. His ability to hit fastballs the opposite way, and then have the ability to also keep his hands back on the breaking balls and then pull those particular pitches. He's got a solid approach working at the plate right now.
Here's Justin Upton. And he'll look at a ball high. The Tigers are making DeGrom work here in the 4th inning. 15 pitches in the first 2 batters, and they both result in singles.
And you want, if you're J-Up, you don't want to think about hitting this ball out of the park. You do not want to roll it over. DeGrom's already benefited by 2 double plays. A lot of balls on the ground. You want to think middle.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
Let's take a look at DeGrom's pitches by inning. 62 total. Made him work in the 2nd inning, 23 pitches. In the 4th, nobody out, 17 pitches already.
Upton had a walk in his first at bat. DeGrom in search of another double play ball here. Lifted foul down the first base line, out of play.
Noticing that DeGrom really holding the ball, even Victor Martinez on second base. Tigers with runners in scoring position this series, 6 for 18. That's a pretty good clip. New York only 2 for 17. But as a hitter, sometimes you blink up there, and after you don't blink for a while, you're trying to time it. And when a pitcher holds you like that, it becomes uncomfortable. I would step out of the box. You ever have that, Simo? You know what I'm talking about.
Well, that definitely happens, and you do have to step out because you don't want to stare and continue to stare, because you freeze up a little bit when you're in the batter's box.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. Upton is out, 1 gone.
And the tricky pitchers, they'll use that too, because as a hitter, you're saying, should I step out? Should I not? Should I blink? Sometimes you blink, and the ball's on halfway on the way, and you're in trouble. It's a good lively fastball on the outside part of the plate. Jap goes down.
See, this is something that, and I'm not kidding here, this is something that nobody ever talks about when you talk about hitting, is the blinking factor. I mean, I would never have thought about that, in that you've got to time it, and that's all part of hitting.
Well, we had a stare down, remember? It was a couple weeks ago, 10 days ago.
Who won that stare down?
Well, I'm still haven't blinked.
I love it.
I got all kind of little characters that live in my life. You know that. Parky, the dentist.
0-1 on McGee.
Mario is the only guy in on the dentist joke so far.
Yeah, I'm privy to all these little characters that pop up throughout the course of the broadcast. 0-2 on McGee.
My little world.
Casey hit into a force in his first at bat. He is 0 for 1 since his return, which of course was today with the injury to Castellanos. Now DeGrom ready with the 0-2. Simo, interested in your thoughts on the injury to Castellanos. And I'm sure throughout the course of your career, you guys lost every now and then a key player to your team, but you just have to kind of grind through.
Well, you really do. You have to have the mentality next man up. It's unfortunately what happened to Nick. He's swinging an outstanding back. He's playing a solid third base. The production numbers, 18, 58 RBIs. He's going to be missed in this lineup. And I truly believe this too, guys, that it puts a little more pressure on J-Up now hitting behind JD Martinez.
The chopper foul, third base side.
That's a good point. And everything, the dynamics of the whole lineup, they change given who's in the lineup any day. I thought it was a real good move today to give Kinsler a day off. I mean, he's played 107 of 110 games so far. Day game, give him today off, and then we'll go out to the West Coast. He'll be playing again tomorrow. I think it's smart. You just have to do it. There's not a good day to give Ian Kinsler a day off, but you have to do it, and it'll pay off in the long run.
Bouncing ball toward the shortstop. The second one. Relay is another double play. And DeGrom has his third of the day turned behind him. That one again goes 6-4-3. A close play at first base.
Yeah, but he's out.
He is out at first. And DeGrom pitching out of a jam. Well, Simo's got some fans out there bringing him water, food, all kinds of stuff. We're going to break Simo from left field to get him down to the third base camera. Go to the fifth. Craig Monroe's about to break from left field, and Craig, what's on your head?
Well, the boys are playing jokes out here in the bullpen. I guess Gibby set them up to do some.
I did not.
Yeah, oh no, yes you did. I got the word, Gib.
Paranoid.
So now they said that it's hot out here, and they wanted to make me a hat since I didn't have one. And what do you guys think? I mean,
I think you look like Princess Leia.
well, I feel good. It's keeping the sun off this bald head of mine.
Somebody's
better
very
to feel good than look good.
Well, if you're not having fun, if you can't laugh at yourself, then I mean, come on, you gotta have some fun out here.
All right, Craig, thanks, buddy.
All right, thank you guys.
Take that thing off.
How do I get blamed for that?
Well, because it's easier, an easy target.
You know I wouldn't do anything like that.
No, not at all. One out. Travis d'Arnaud will step in.
Hey, if it keeps that bullpen loose and throwing the ball the way they've been throwing it, we're in.
We're definitely in. I mean, they have been lights out since the All-Star break, that Tigers pen. And it's looking like Sanchez is saying, I'm not going to need much help from the pen today with the way he's throwing the ball. Pitch count in good shape. He has scattered just a couple of hits. 0-2 the count on d'Arnaud.
I was looking into the Mets starting staff and also into the Tigers starting staff because I was thinking about Anibal Sanchez. You know, why has he had a hard time getting back to his form? And I think a lot of it has to do with, you look at the previous seasons. Remember, you go back to Sanchez, you know, 12-13, was it 14? They went to the playoffs, correct?
Correct.
So you're pitching extra innings. Kind of goes to the Mets as well. These young pitchers, they're trying to get innings pitched, get guys up to 200 innings and get another lively fastball. But like DeGrom, for example, 140 innings in 2014, 191 in 15, plus 25 in the postseason. So now here he is, tired most of this season. All of the staff except Syndergaard struggled early in this year. Now he's slowing as the season goes on. So people don't really think about how things tally up, and they have a accumulating effect on, you know, a different season than the previous one.
I think you see a lot of that with the Royals as well, but really as an entire team, not just mainly the pitching staff, but going to back-to-back World Series. I mean, you're playing toward the end of October and really now into November, which really alternates, or alters, I should say, your postseason and all those extra innings, and it catches up.
Well, people were always looking for answers. Why? And you know, as I kind of looked at the pitching matchup today, just struck me as one of the reasons, and I know it's true. I know that extra, say, 3 weeks to a month that you get off if you're not in the playoffs, it's very important to you recovering and getting off to a quick and a strong and having a good long season in the next year.
Slice to left field. It's down, a base hit for Kelly Johnson. 2-out single for the Mets. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Craig's on the move from left field down to the third base dugout area.
Now, if that hat is made well, or well made, they'll have some ice in there. Keep you really cool on that dome. And when you have a bald head, it just goes right there. That sun.
There's nowhere to go, right?
No.
Right there.
Right. You can see it looking on top of his head right there. How it's shining. I know the feeling. Simo's going down. He's happy, just talking away. Love to play the game. Loves to bring the good insight to all of our viewers and interact with the fans. Good man.
No balls and 1 strike. Matt Reynolds, 2 outs, no score. We're in the 5th inning. Off the end of the bat, foul.
By the way, is that Jim Zinnick trying to keep up with him there with the camera?
I didn't notice. It might be.
Saw him out there in left field.
Yeah. There's
He's
Jim.
the master. He's the master. Forever. Look at him. He's smiling. I know he is. Just people work very hard to try and bring you good, insightful things on this telecast. So a lot of people behind the scenes, dedicated, and have a great attitude about doing a good job for everybody. Just like the players. Work hard in between. The Sanchez through his bullpen. He's come out very sharp today.
He has given up just 3 hits in this game, and they've all been singles. Here's the 1-2. He got him, strike 3. Reynolds didn't like it, pleading his case now with Bill Miller. Not going to matter. 6 strikeouts for Anibal. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. And it's going to certainly be the end of a long career for A-Rod, who is, well, he still has a chance to get to 700 homers.
You're going to have to hit a lot of homers in the next week, huh?
Yeah, he's going to need 4 of them.
4 in 5 days.
But when you look at what Alex has been able to accomplish in his career, and certainly the PED thing will hang over his head for his entire career, but the numbers, they're pretty lofty.
Do you think he'll go in the Hall of Fame?
Wow. I'm going to say probably not.
I'm going to say probably at some point down the road, I don't know how many years, that the stance on PEDs will soften. I'm not saying I agree with it or like it, but I think you're going to see some of the guys with suspicion and that have done that will end up being in the Hall.
Hard hit ball to third. Johnston throws on McCann.
A-Rod is interesting, you know. I don't really know how you feel. I don't know the guy. Haven't interacted with him, but he had a great career in many regards, and there was a lot of controversy in other regards. First guy to break the $200 million barrier. He did it twice, actually, with Texas and then with the Yankees. Well decorated, All-Stars, Silver Sluggers, Gold Gloves, World Champion. What do you think?
Well, I know all of my experiences and encounters with Alex have really all been positive, literally all of them. You know, through the years when he was with Seattle and Texas and then on with the Yankees. So sometimes I think he used that to make judgments on guys as people. And so, you know, I never really had a problem with Alex. He was always very cordial to me, always very talkative, and, you know, that's a good thing. But there are, you know, other issues there.
I know every teammate of his, every coach that ever coached him said he was a very good teammate. But I just never interacted. You know, there's a lot written probably in a negative fashion that maybe we get wrapped up in it. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But the Yankees have decided to move on and give some youngster an opportunity here as they move forward after next Friday.
1-2 is a little looper. Oh, the shortstop Reynolds with a leaping play in short left. Nicely done there by Matt Reynolds. Takes a hit away from Andrew Romine.
Yeah, Matt Reynolds is angry about Bill Miller making that last call on him, so he's going to take one away from Andrew Romine here. Did the old karaoke and timed it perfectly. Romine looked like he was going to have a base hit, but he goes down on a pretty good play. Pretty athletic play right there.
2 gone now. Here is Tyler Collins. And there a strike call. Tyler had a single in his last at bat. 5 Tigers hits in this game, only 3 for the Mets. And DeGrom missing outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tyler Collins, Mario and Gibby has put together some solid at bats since making it back to the big leagues. He talked to me in the batting tunnel. He was talking about shrinking the strike zone, not chasing pitches out of strike zone. He's working that approach to perfection, and now at the big league level, he's getting the results that he wants.
Yeah, he's not as jumpy. You can tell that he's picking the ball up better. Things have slowed down. He had a rocky start to the season. Batting average was not good. Had the incident where his hands got away from him and went down to Toledo.
His hands
got away from him. You gotta love that.
And now he's back, and you know, the Tigers did a great job with him. Seriously, they did a heck of a job at handling that. And of course, he regrets that. That's the lesson learned.
That is popped up third base side, and it's going to be Johnson at foul ground, and DeGrom is matching Sanchez pitch for pitch. All right, guys, thanks a lot.
We got a little. It looks like Sanchez did something to his back. Unfortunately, I hope this is not. Hope I'm not right on this.
Oh boy.
See him stretching, and he's throwing the ball very, very well. This is before Curtis got into the batter's box. Boy, he's throwing the ball very well. It's hard to say that. Hard to believe that something could be wrong as good as he's throwing the ball.
This might be the best he's thrown all year. Now we'll see if he can loosen up. Kevin Rand is out there to keep an eye on him, the head athletic trainer. Tigers Justin Case starting to scurry now in the bullpen in case Sanchez can't continue.
Yeah, looks like he's going to go.
Well, that's a good thing. So Sanchez will remain in the game. And he's going to have Granderson, De Aza, and Walker.
Mark Lowe, that's getting a little stretching out there as well. You want to make sure it doesn't sneak up on you if you see something like this developing. So Mark Lowe's getting a little loosened up should he have to get on the mound and come in and relieve Anibal Sanchez.
Single strikeout for the former Tiger Granderson. Playing to pull on the infield. Missed it inside, 1-1.
Velocity's still the same, so you want to watch how Sanchez throws the ball this inning. Look for little things that have changed. He's been up at 92 miles an hour pretty much all game. 93 right there. When you get an injury or something pops up on you and you're a player like this, no matter whether you're a pitcher, catcher, outfielder, an infielder, you always try to push yourself through it. That's just the athlete's nature.
Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Sanchez, his 7th.
3 good fastballs prior to this off-speed pitch. You see the grip. Good break, just totally fooled Curtis Granderson. Only 84 miles an hour. Here's our high-speed pitch brought to you by Xfinity. 94 the high and 70 the low. That would be the curveball. Obviously the high is the fastball.
Well, I will say this about Sanchez. Really from the get-go today, he's done nothing but throw strikes. And that has served him well.
66 pitches, 48 of them strikes.
You got to love the confidence too in which he's pitching with right now.
A little wave and a miss.
Well, the hitters, you just read the swings. So far the hitters are telling you that he's got really good stuff today. In the past when he was struggling, you see the first pitch strikes today, 17 of 20. Tuesday versus the White Sox, 19 of 24.
Sky in the air to shallow center field for Collins. And there are 2 gone. Simo, you mentioned the confidence that Sanchez seems to be pitching with, and that in turn I think gives the guys that are playing behind him some confidence as well.
Well, it definitely does. I noticed earlier when I was out in left field, the guys were on the balls of their feet. They seemed to be anticipating the pitch. Because he's so effective and efficient in the strike zone, they're ready to make plays. And this is something that, I mean, they've all been wanting for Sanchez, because they know how hard he works behind the scenes. He wants nothing more than to go out and give this Tiger team a chance to win games.
Neil Walker looks at a strike. Be honest, Simo, what was the worst thing? The worst thing for an outfielder had to be when a guy was out there working slowly and walking everybody in the parking lot or in the stadium. I mean, that had to be the worst for an outfielder to kind of sit through that.
Well, it definitely is the worst. You seem to get on your heels, and if they do hit a ball out there, you might not make the play because you wasn't on the balls of your feet, anticipating the ball, wanting the ball, because you assume that, well, he's not going to challenge anybody. He's walking everybody. So you kind of get in no man's land out there and kind of drift away.
Yeah, let me add one element, and it's raining out and it's really wet. There's about 1.5 inches of water in the outfield.
Fun times, huh? There's a ball high to Walker, 1-2.
Yeah, you're out there. You know, these fields now drain great. Okay, in the olden times, they take the tarp and they dump it where? Right in left field, don't they? Seem
they do. They take good care of the infield.
They say, let's go get him.
About the outfield.
Yes, let's go get him.
Swing and a miss. Wow. Well, Sanchez appears to be just fine. 8 strikeouts for Anaheim. Man, does he look good today. A 1-2-3 6th inning. Sanchez in cruise control mode. Gibby today, both DeGrom and Sanchez have been awfully good. 8 punch outs for Sanchez in this game and 3 for DeGrom, but his pitch count in pretty good shape too. Jose Iglesias will lead it off in a ball inside 1-0. Iglesias reaching on an error in the first. He had an infield single in the third.
Not a bunt. Very good place. Very well placed.
Another bunt. This one popped up back of the crowd.
He got in a rush right there. That ball looked like it was up and in. Probably not a good pitch to bunt. Lucky that went into the stands.
Yeah, and he made a nice play.
Right into the hat.
Nice.
Here's a memory for you.
Here's the 1-1. Foul back. Two, 3, and 4 coming up. Facing DeGrom here in the 6th inning. No score. That's in the air toward right center field. It's going to be run down by DeAsa. One gone now. We check in with Kristen Keith.
Hey Mario, well, Mets manager Terry Collins is a Michigan native. He grew up in Midland and went to high school at Midland High School and was a very good ball player there. Several of his teammates in high school went on to play for major universities, but Collins went on to play at Eastern Michigan and said it really shaped him today, and he wouldn't be where he is today without it, because while some of his teammates were at big universities, he got playing time from the second he started at EMU. He actually led the team in steals all 4 years, and they won an NAIA national championship. Mario?
Well, Terry Collins had a chat with him yesterday, Gibby, and of course, as you know, he's from Midland, as Kristen just said, so he's got a lot of people that have come to this series, and he's given out a lot of tickets, and he said a bunch of guys came to the game yesterday. I got them tickets, and they were all wearing Tigers hats. He said they could at least have worn a Mets hat. I got them the tickets.
Well, if he would have got them the hats, they would have worn the hats.
That's a good point.
That's how that works. I understand that way that goes. There you can see it. 10 minor league seasons with Pittsburgh and the Dodgers. 12th as a manager. Houston, Anaheim. Took a break, now with the Mets. AL Manager, NL Manager of the Year in 2015.
Terry Collins has spent a long time in professional baseball, better than 40 years. Well-respected baseball man.
Could you imagine what it's like to be the Mets manager?
No thanks. Awfully tough. That'll be a 6-pitch inning for DeGrom. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Chevrolet. More than you expect for less than you imagine. Spectacular day here at the ballpark today. The Tigers and the Mets wrapping up this series. And right now it's been all pitching dominant. As Sanibel Sanchez goes back to the hill in the 7th. Jay Bruce will start things off. No score. Only had 8 hits between the two teams. Sanchez goes to work. First one is popped up foul. See if there's room. And it's going to be caught by Iglesias.
Did you hear Simo down there? He said, I think I got action. I hear you.
Hey, I'm ready to make a play, guys. I was ready to make that play, guys. I'm watching.
Let's.
Simo, you weren't going to make this play, man. You were going to run.
No. I was getting ready. I was blocking the sun and everything right now. You see the hand work?
There's proof you were ready.
I'm working over here, guys.
I got action.
I can hear him. I got action.
That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny.
Here's James Loney. Loney is single and a line out. Then he hits this one in the air down the right field line. That one is curling, and it's going to go foul. Long run for JD. Loney now a 7-game hitting streak after singling in the 2nd.
Mario, give me that ball stayed up for a while, right? And guys are probably thinking, wow, why wasn't JD able to get there? Well, they're playing Loney the opposite way. You got you got Justin Upton a little bit closer to the left field line. Tyler Collins on the shortstop side of second base. So JD Martinez is shaded to the right center gap. That was the reason that he wasn't able to get to that ball and make that play.
I don't know if you noticed how he gingerly put his arms up right there.
I was going to say that
on the wall. That's how he got hurt.
Like the play that he had in Kansas City, and I'm sure when you go back and make that same type of play, that's got to be in the back of your mind.
Well, he came in there under control.
Yes, he did.
0-2 on Loney, up high.
Again, this is Kansas City, and JD got hurt right here. He's going in hard, put his right arm out, right in the middle of that crease there. You could see that crease just made his arm twist in a funny fashion, and then ended up with the fracture.
Got him, strike 3.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Boy, Anibal Sanchez is really doing a heck of a job here as we go into the 7th inning. All of his pitches, actually from the first hitter on through now, the breaking ball over when he wants it, the slider as well. Changeup's been good, doubling up on that, and the fastball has been very, very lively. Here through 6 1/3, only 3 hits, 8 strikeouts on the day, and he's just moving through these hitters quickly. Did stop in the previous inning for a little backstretch, but other than that, been smooth sailing.
9 strikeouts. He's retired 6 in a row now. Michael Conforto, the batter. He has a fly out and a pop up. A little bit high. Conforto played his college ball at Oregon State. In fact, was a teammate of Matt Boyd's, the Tigers starter, last night. But he did not face Boyd. He came on as a pinch hitter against Alex Wilson late in the game. And that ball belted down the right field line. It's going to hook, though. Out of play.
You know, 2 years ago, I watched Conforto play down in Arizona. They were playing Michigan State at the time, and all the scouts were there, and the buzz was this guy's going to go high in the draft. Of course, he ends up going high in the draft. Had a really good year last year, but has struggled this year. Seems his opponents have found a couple weaknesses, some spots, so it'll be on him to clean that up.
Well, that ball belted. Upton rather going back, and it's going to carry out.
Wow.
And Conforto goes the other way with a home run to left center field, and the Mets have the lead. Two-out solo shot from Michael Conforto. His 11th of the year.
Looks like a fastball up and out over the plate. He really gets behind this. Drives it out over the wall in left center. He has been struggling, but much better off of right-handers than he is left-handers. Anibal taking a look. Can't believe, I'm sure, that he carried out of the park. But we had to score anyway. We'll come back.
Travis d'Arnaud, the batter. First run of the ball game here in the 7th. Ooh, d'Arnaud with a very awkward swing. 0-2. Nine strikeouts for Anibal Sanchez, but the home run by Conforto has broken the 0-0 tie. A little bit outside, 1-2.
We'll see if Anibal stays aggressive. Can't let that discourage him. He's done very well. Had a great game. Just one home run doesn't mean anything's changed.
That'll get back out of play. 1-2. The count stays on d'Arnaud. That one floats high at 71 miles an hour. 2-2 on d'Arnaud. Waiting on deck, Johnson. Chopper to the shortstop. Iglesias. That'll end the inning. He get a run and the home run by Conforto. JD Martinez will get it started when we go to the bottom of the 7th. Conforto home run as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning here at the ballpark. Mario and Pemba alongside Kirk Gibson, and we'll get to Craig Monroe in a moment as well. But Gibby, Animal Sanchez today, you're right, you can't let that home run get to you. He's been spectacular today.
Been his best performance of the season. I think you could kind of see it coming. He's just built off that start I talked about earlier in Toronto, but the fastball is very lively. Made a mistake, Conforto made him pay, but you know, we got to score one way or the other, so I think we're still in pretty good shape here in the bottom of the 7th.
Craig, what do you got on Jacob deGrom? We knew coming into this ball game this was going to be a pretty tough assignment today, and it certainly has been.
Well, it looks like he's taking a page out of Noah Syndergaard's book. From the 4th inning on, Noah started pitching backwards. He was throwing breaking balls and fastball counts, fastballs and breaking ball counts, and that appears to me what deGrom is doing. But he's also doing an outstanding job of moving the fastball around the strike zone, turning that pitch into 4 pitches for himself, and he's keeping the Tigers off balance.
Well, the Tigers certainly, guys, have an opportunity to really close out this homestand with a bang here if they can get a victory. And any way you cut it, this has really been a great homestand for this team.
It's been a great end of the previous road trip, a great homestand. And like you say, anyway, you want to win this game. If you don't, it's still a successful stand. Then you're going to go on to another tough road trip to Seattle and then to Texas. Hey, from here on out, there's going to be pressure you can't let up the whole way out.
J.D. hammers one to right field on the first pitch, but right at Granderson, one gone. All right, your motorcycle to Comerica Park on Wednesday, August 17th. The Tigers battle the Royals at 7:10 p.m. Get free motorcycle parking and a Bike Night t-shirt when you purchase at tigers.com/bike. That is Wednesday, August 17th.
Is that pause on a bike there?
Yes.
Never seen it.
Pause can do it all. Here's Justin Upton. Upton lines one to left field. That's down, a base hit. Tying run is on here for the Tigers. A 1-out single in the 7th.
Boy, Jay up, get it started. Good swing, shorten up a little bit. Thinking about going 2 right here, but Conforto gets over there very quickly. Holds Jay up to 1.
Guys, in this particular series, the Tigers have done an outstanding job of answering back when they go down. So I look for them to answer back in this particular inning in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, deGrom has been at his best in these situations. He's had some double plays turned behind him. 3, as a matter of fact. And he's trying to get one here from McGee, who bounced into a 6-4-3 in the 4th.
Well, deGrom, 3 steals against him. He's caught 3. Darno only 19% though. So J-Up gets a good field. Might see him later in this inning make an attempt. deGrom, however, is going to hold the ball. You see that. I continue to talk about that. I just know it's uncomfortable as a hitter. Play a little gamesmanship there and step out on him and make him not be uncomfortable as well. Just turn the tables on him.
Here's the 0-1. And McGee looks at a strike at the outer edge, 0-2. Casey is 0 for 2 in his return to Detroit. Was hitting .322 down in Toledo. Blocked by Darno.
J-Up not getting a very big lead over there. deGrom holding the ball. About 1.2 seconds to home plate. You're looking from a pitcher somewhere over 1.3 seconds, because the total time between the time the pitcher starts, goes to the catcher, back down to second base, about 3.3 seconds or greater. That's a lot of numbers. I'm probably confused. Everybody listening.
High fly ball right field. Granderson going back. Track. Front of the wall to make the catch. Ooh, McGee put a charge into that one, but he fell a little bit short.
Just missed it.
2 gone.
Good swing. Deep out there, 365. You see the changeup. McGee stays back. Good on it. He just got down the bat towards the trademark there a little bit. Granderson kind of lost track of where he was on the wall right there, but unfortunately makes the catch.
2 outs now for James McCann. Reed and Blevins warming in the Mets bullpen. And James looks at a ball low.
So I've talked about that stolen base component a couple times. I, of course, self-evaluate, and I still don't think you get it. So I'm going to create these little drop-down boxes. How's that? Well,
perfect.
So they can read it.
Maybe some illustrations to go with it.
Well, it's just pitcher throws to home plate, then the catcher throws to second. The total time you'd like it to be 3.3 seconds or greater. So if he's a 1.3 at the plate, that means the catcher throws a 2. That's 3.3. So you're in pretty good shape. That's kind of how you add it up in layman's terms if you're over there at first base. Omar Vizquel's got to watch. There he's telling him what he is at the plate, and of course if you guess on a breaking ball or a changeup, then you're going to have a better chance of making it. 3 balls and no strikes on James McCann. I would let him swing away right here.
He's taking a strike call, 3-1. McCann a strikeout and a ground out in this game.
Gibby, I got a question for you too. Were you comfortable swinging 3-0?
Yes.
Very comfortable.
But it's something you got to practice. You know, I used to practice it in spring training quite a bit. Many aren't. It's a great point.
Simo, what about you?
I wasn't that comfortable. I wasn't comfortable swinging 3-0 because I felt like if I was going to get a fastball on 3-0 count, there's a good chance I was going to get that same fastball on a 3-1 count.
Yeah, see, Simo, I think that trend's changed a little bit. Where you 3-0, I think you're guaranteed, but you got to learn to look right in a little box. Okay, it's got to be like right on the tee where you'd want it. Like if I said, Simo, where do you want me to put the ball on the tee? That pitch. You have to be disciplined about it. And if you're uncomfortable doing it, you expand the zone, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. I agree. But that 3-1 now and then they throw that little wrinkle in there, and
yeah,
that's the way I looked at it.
Well, no, it's a great point, and it's a great discussion because again, 3-0, I felt like, and you said it, you hit the nail on the head right there where you talked about discipline. I felt like my swing, I would get bigger instead of thinking shorter. And for whatever reason, when I got to 3-1, I thought being shorter in 3-1 opposed to 3-0.
Yeah, so it's, you know, you again, you're a player. You're working through your strengths. So, you know, your strength could be different than mine, and that's normal around every diamond. And you have to identify that and stick with your strengths.
Here is ROMINE now with 2 on and 2 out. Andrew looks at a ball outside, 1-0.
Now, if you're Simo, you really want to make sure you got a good secondary lead right there. And the same with McCann.
You mean Jay up at second?
Oh yeah. Yeah, did I say Simo?
Yeah, you put Simo in the game.
My
You put me at second base, Gib. I like it.
There's a strike call.
And he's doing a real good job of it down there. You want to make sure you can score on a base hit.
Well, he's definitely paying attention to the shortstop, the second baseman. He's taking a peek. He's finding out where they are, so he can get a really good jump.
Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on ROMINE.
Now, if we're going to look at high home, the second baseman's way over here, so he's definitely not going to pick you. This guy right here over at shortstop, though, he's the guy you got to worry about. You can't see him, and you rely on this guy to tell you. I used to like nothing said unless he was coming.
And also from the outfield standpoint, they've moved in a little bit.
Fouled away.
Because of the 2 strikes, you figured the guy's a little shorter and gonna cheat a little bit, huh, Simo?
They're definitely cheating a little bit, especially here. CONFORTO in here in left field. Diaz in center has also moved in a little bit. And it looks like Granderson has moved in also, obviously with 2 outs.
Especially this guy here, he's trying to go home.
1-2 on ROMINE. He's 0 for 2 in this game. Nubbed off the end of the bat. It's going to be an infield hit. And that's going to load the bases. He couldn't have thrown it out there better than that.
What you got on that, Simo?
Those are beautiful hits. In the box score, it looks like a line drive, Gib.
Yeah, we're going to get a new pitcher here. It's got to be Blevins warming up. But this right off the end of the bat. You can say you couldn't throw it out there better. And this Tigers, they've had a lot of moments like this as of late. A little hit like this, and you take advantage of it. Bases are now loaded with 2 down. We're going to have a pitching change. DeGrom is done for the day.
It's going to be a wall side windows pitching change. DeGrom is done for the afternoon. Collins coming up. And we shall step aside. We'll be back. Time being, Mets have the lead. Tigers have them loaded. Ian Kinsler is going to pinch hit for Tyler Collins, and here are some of these superlatives among AL leadoff hitters.
Well, he's pretty good. You see his rank there, right up there towards the top in all categories. 1 for 7 though as a pinch hitter, and this is a great move by Brad Ausmus. Kinsler's on a day off, but you got to make this move. You got an opportunity. He's going to be facing the new pitcher, Jerry Blevins. Now Blevins 208 against lefties average, 133 against righties average, but of course Ian Kinsler is much better off with lefties.
And a swing and a miss, 0-1.
Fastball, curveball are the main pitches from Blevins. Occasional change. About 65% fastballs, 30% curveballs.
Kinsler this year is batting .320 against left-handed pitching.
Now with the flexibility, you've got ROMINE at second base. He can go out and play the outfield, so that's going to be an easy fix.
Upton had a single, a walk to McCann, an infield hit for ROMINE. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ian Kinsler. Jerry Blevins, the left-hander, coming out of the bullpen.
Blevins is retired 21 of 30 leadoff men when he comes into the game. 70%.
Inside, 2-1 on Kinsler. This crowd is aching for something to cheer about. DeGrom had kept the Tigers off the board to this point, and now they got them loaded up. Blevins with the 2-1. Little chopper slowly back up the middle. Might be an infield hit. It is! And we are tied. An infield single for Kinsler. Well, the last two weren't all that impressive, but it got the job done.
They're all very nice. They all count. The Mets must be saying what's going on, but let's take a look at this at bat. Pitch by pitch, Ian Kinsler off of the bench. Swing and miss to the first. Blevins is pounding the inside of the plate. Comes up and in. Kinsler gets ahead in the count. And then off the end of the bat again over the head of Blevins. They can't get Ian Kinsler. Tigers play one. Tie game now as we are in the bottom of the seventh. Going to get another pitching change.
Pinch hit RBI for Ian Kinsler. Tigers have tied it. A chance to take the lead. Back to the bullpen go the Mets. Small side windows pitching change. We'll be back. The ball game up. The bases are still loaded for the Tigers.
And any way you look at it, this is back-to-back infield hits from the Tigers. Both hit off the end of the bat. Really good pitches made by the Mets pitchers. But when things are going good and you're rolling good, these are the types of things that happen. And I truly believe you make your own luck. And the Tigers have stuck with it. They're rewarded to tie this game.
And Iglesias looks at a strike.
That's Addison Reed now coming into the game. Had him down in Arizona as a closer. 53 games. He's got 27 holds. ERA sub 2. Doesn't walk anybody. 66 strikeouts, 9 walks. Fastball slider.
Flared in the air to shallow center field, and Granderson comes on to make the catch. And that'll end the inning for the Tigers. However, they tie it up on the Kinsler pinch hit infield single. Granderson making a nice play to stop the bleeding for the New York Mets. Tied up at 1. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
It's in a good pitching duel today. Anibal Sanchez with his best performance of the year, really commanding the strike zone. In the 7th inning, though, Michael Conforto hits the solo shot into the left center field bullpen. But then the Tigers come back and answer with 2 back-to-back infield hits, one by Iglesias and then by Ian Kinsler right there. Actually, that was Andrew Romine. And the Tigers get 1, and Ian Kinsler now is in the game permanently at second base, and I believe Andrew Romine has moved out to the outfield.
And Kelly Johnson leads it off as we go to the 8th, and he fouls it back out of play.
Only 87 pitches to start this inning for Anibal, so he's in pretty good shape. Tigers, however, will have that bullpen ready to go.
DeGrom goes 103 pitches in this game before departing. There's a strike call, 0-2. Bruce Rondon in the Tigers bullpen. Outside. DeGrom had a scoreless streak of 20 innings come to an end with the Tigers getting a run in the 7th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Flared out of play, and the count stays 1-2. Johnson, Reynolds, and then Granderson here in the 8th. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. One away.
Hey, take a look at here, Curtis Granderson here, guys, in the last inning, the bottom of the 7th inning here. We had bases loaded. I think it was great baseball awareness by Curtis Granderson to recognize the hitter, knew that Jose Iglesias could not hit it over his head, so he challenged him. He moved way in, Gibby and Mario in the right field position to take that base hit away from Iggy there. So I thought that was great baseball awareness by Curtis Granderson, taking away that bloop base hit away from Iggy.
Yeah, it was worked out very well. You talk about reading the bat, and Addison Reed knew the pitcher. He likes to throw that slider away moving off the plate. So if he makes and executes his pitch, you're going to be right there on the money to get your team out of the inning, and he did.
Of course, Granderson played a lot of center field, mostly with the Tigers. He's played a lot of right field now with the New York Mets. Here's the 1-1 to Matt Reynolds. It's a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. 10 strikeouts for Anibal Sanchez matches a season high. Now the 2-1. Ground ball left side, diving stop at third. McGee throws him out. 2 gone.
Yeah, got to make the play now. We talked about the Tigers being all these 1-run games lately. Here we are in another one. It's a tie game right now. McGee, good move to his left, gets up and makes a good accurate throw. Good read of the hop. Now you're going to your left. You have to know that you're going to have to throw. You have to drop down on that throw when you're going to your left. If you go to your right, you get to get on top. So you have to kind of flare it in there.
Ball 1 to Granderson. Single 2 strikeouts for Granderson. And now 2 for 12 in the series. A little bit outside. 2-0 on the count on Granderson.
Curtis 1 for 3, does have a base hit and a couple of strikeouts.
Here's the 2-0. Just off the plate, 3-0. Here's another one of those 3-0 counts. See what Granderson has planned here.
To take it.
He'll swing. Little bouncer. Second base side. Kinsler, quick shovel for the out. Sanchez, a 1-2-3 inning. Seymour got to get ready for some post-game work. Thanks, buddy.
All right, thank you guys. Enjoyed it.
Great job, Steve, as always.
We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still tied at 1. Here today, his best outing of the year. He's got 10 punch-outs.
Yeah, I was tallying up earlier. I mean, he's got about almost 30 strikeouts in his last 3 starts, averaging almost 9 strikeouts a game.
Reed goes back to work. Cabrera leads it off and looks at ball 1.
Miggy's due. He's due for a big fly to right field.
Cabrera is 0 for 3 in this game. Victor to follow, and then J.D. Martinez.
Well, if you're Brad, you're over there thinking about a couple of things. Number one, you're at the plate. Miguel gets on base. Are you going to run for him? I say no way. However, Victor, he gets on. I would pinch run Maben for him. I think he could probably pinch run. Obviously, you're trying to get that 1 run. Obviously, behind that, nothing going on. Then you're looking ahead if you're Brad Ausmus. Diaza, Walker, Bruce, and Loney, all 4 left-handed hitters. How are you going to handle them? If we go ahead with the run, it's going to be K-Rod probably again. There he is, loosening up in the pen right now.
Two and 1 on Cabrera. Strike called in the outside corner, and again, Miggy takes exception with Bill Miller. 2-2.
That's a big swing there. It's 3-1 versus 2-2.
3-2 now. Here's the Chevy Silverado most dependable play. Tigers on pace now for 214 home runs this year. And that's where it would place them in Tigers history, second only to the 87 team.
Well, watch his front foot and how much across. He steps this way and throws the ball across his body.
Swing and a miss. And Cabrera's out of there, 1 gone.
This is what makes pitchers really tough when they step across their body. I don't know if we can stop it. Watch where he's going to step over here. Close himself off, ball is hidden, and then it comes behind Miguel, and he makes a really good fastball pitch on the outside part of the plate. Miggy can't catch up.
Here is Victor Martinez.
Here's the Magic Moonshot presented by Magic Window. V-Mart 2-run homer. That was on Friday. See the reaction. Tigers are happy, Mets are not. We're looking for another one right here, another moonshot. A Magic Moonshot. Pretty good slider down and into V-Mart there.
They've used Blevins and Reed, and they're playing deep here against Martinez.
You can hardly see him.
The 1-1.
Fox track showed that one might have caught the corner, but got a call here by Bill Miller.
Broken bat rolled into short right field, but they've got him played with the shift. 2 gone.
Well, Addison Reed had a lot of saves when he was with the White Sox, and now he's got a lot of holds. 27 with the Mets. Pretty good 92-mile-an-hour cutter right there. 8 V-Mart's bat up. Now he's got the first 2 outs, Cabrera and V-Mart here in the 8th.
Reed saved as many as 40 with the White Sox in 2013. On the outer edge, a strike on JD.
JD 30 home runs in the 7th inning or later since 2014, so this is a moment for JD.
Now the 0-1. Ooh, in there, a strike as again Reed stays the outside part of the plate. 0-2.
He doesn't throw too many pitches on the inside part of the plate to righties. Addison Reed doesn't.
Line to right field, base hit, maybe more. Granderson over to get it. JD hitting the second base. He's in with a double. 2-out, 2-base hit for Martinez.
Boy, JD, he's fired up right there. He put the barrel on the ball right here, and he ran good route, good turn, and he was thinking 2 all the way. Pumping those arms for the big fella. Granderson made a good play to get over there and cut it off and turn around and made a good throw. Just that little bobble gives the Tigers man on second, 2 down here, trying to rally, score that go-ahead run as we go to the top of the 9th inning.
Justin Upton, a single and a walk. The go-ahead run at second.
You're gonna walk him?
Upton will not bat. You've got McGee waiting on deck, so he'll take the bat out of the hands of Justin.
Well, it's a perfect story, isn't it? We've had some pretty good headlines lately.
This is the perfect story, and I shall remind you that my player of the game selection was McGee.
Oh, you're bragging before it happens?
Well, just you wait.
I would gladly give you credit.
Just you wait.
Just amazing how these things work, though. I can feel it. McGee comes back up here to fill in for Nick Castellanos, his first start. Hit one almost to the wall in his last at bat. Didn't quite get enough of it. Here he's got a chance to win the game.
McGee is 0 for 3 in the game. He knocked into a double play in the 4th, but he's up there now with 2 on, 2 out of the 8th.
Anibal Sanchez looks on. He's in line for a win should the Tigers score.
First time all year that Sanchez has gone 8 innings. Now the Tigers trying to get him a run here.
They'll be ready for that slider down the way.
And McGee looks at one low and outside.
That was a changeup. Very seldom does he throw that pitch.
Bouncing ball right side, off the glove, and into right field. JD is going to hold up at third. Now we've got 2 runners at third base. Martinez down the line. Granderson is going to run it in. And they'll run JD Martinez back to third.
Keep going.
And JD slips and is tagged out to end the inning. And Justin Upton slams the helmet to the ground. He assumed that Martinez was going to come in to score. And the Tigers let an opportunity go by the wayside.
Well, this is almost, look at this ball. I don't know what it hits, but it runs back the other way. The Tigers had an opportunity, but JD Martinez was already held, and these things happen from time to time.
So we'll go to the 9th. Still tied at 1. Tigers will have their closer out there now. Frankie Rodriguez takes over. And a strike called on Alejandro De Aza. Numbers on Frankie. He will take over in a 1-1 tie here in the 9th. De Aza, the number 2 hitter, is 0 for 3 in this game. And he looks at a ball inside. Oh, a strike in the inside part of the plate. De Aza was stumbling over the plate. 0-2. That last play, by the way, was ruled a single for McGee. 9-2-5 on the putout of JD Martinez to end the 8th. Oh, he hit him, and oh my goodness. That is not good. One night after Castellanos had a hand broken, De Aza is drilled.
Yeah, obviously you're not going to do that on purpose with the tie game here as a leadoff hitter. But that was a loud noise. That got him pretty good. Just listen here, you'll hear it.
That is just such an unpleasant sound.
Right out the back of the hand. It's a similar place that that Nick was hit last night. However, his was over on the 5th. Over by your little finger by that knuckle. This looks like it had more in the middle of the hand, which maybe helps deflect some of the impact. Well, that sounded pretty solid.
Yeah, it sure did. So the Mets will get the leadoff man on. They're going to have the middle of their lineup coming up as well in a 1-1 game.
Well, now you take the glove off, you're probably going to see the threads of the baseball on the back of the hand. Anybody who's ever played the game that's hit and been hit like that. It's 144 threads, I believe, on a baseball.
How do you know that?
Because I know I'm going to tease something that's going to happen on the 28th.
Okay.
There's a bunch of things about the number 9. So 144 stitches on a baseball. What's 1 + 4 + 4?
1 + 4 is 5, + 4 is 9.
9. Every number comes back to 9.
Here's Neil Walker.
Pick
Ball
a number.
one.
Two-digit number.
15.
15.
Yeah.
15. 1 + 5 is 6.
Yep.
15 - 6.
Oh wow. Imagine that. 9.
That's a teaser. We got. There's different things about the number 9, and there's 23 ways to get on first base. So we'll talk about that as well.
23 ways.
Yep. This happens to be a number I used to wear.
Coincidence?
No,
think not.
It is a coincidence. Yeah.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. That ball is hammered high and deep to right field, way back. Man, oh man, Walker put a charge into that, and the Mets have taken the lead. Oh, he killed that thing. A 2-run shot for Neil Walker. That's a 3rd home run of the series the Mets have hit out there, and that's a long way away from home plate.
Yeah, he gets some. It's just a two-seam fastball. He's trying to sneak it by. It's right over the heart of the plate. Neil Walker's got some sock. That is his 19th home run of the year. Picks up a couple of RBI. It's 49 on the year. Worst, though, is that it puts the Tigers behind 3-1 here as we're in the top of the 9th.
There's still nobody out. Number 19, as Gibby said, for Walker.
And the Tigers are doing the right thing here. I think they've got is that Bruce Rondon warming up in the bullpen. K-Rod, he's thrown a lot. So you want to get him out of here. You don't want him to throw a lot of pitches. See, 30 pitches, none on Thursday, 12 and 12 on Friday and Saturday. That's 3 out of 4 days. He could have been up on Thursday. You don't know that in the bullpen.
Jay Bruce fouls it off 0-1. Bruce is 0 for 3 in this game.
It is Bruce Rondon.
One ball, one strike. Now Frankie ready with the 1-1 pitch. Little chopper back up the middle. Long run there for Kinsler, and he'll throw him out.
Well, that last half inning, how it ended, I know everybody's frustrated with this, and it's definitely a mistake. You've got the bases loaded. They're in a first and second. Casey McGee hits a kind of a funky ball, not fielded by the Mets, and the Tigers get 2 men at third base, J.D. Martinez and Justin Upton. This is just baseball. This is what happens. You get into a situation like this. Everybody knows they made a mistake. Clarkey had some culpability in as well. Here's J.D. He's thinking he's off. Does he go? Does he not go? Just a mistake. I don't know what to tell you. It happens. I've done it. You're going to see it again. Is it going to cost us a game? I don't know. But these guys have played very good baseball lately, and they made a mistake today, and we'll move on. That's going to be it for K-Rod.
So Brad coming out, taking his closer out of the game. 2-run shot here by Walker has given the Mets the lead. And that's going to be it for Frankie Rodriguez. So Bruce Rondon will come into this game. Got a pitching change here in the 9th, and we'll be back. Bat app, stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet.
Got a new Tiger pitcher, Bruce Rondon. Right thing to take his closer out, not let the pitch count get up. 16th game this season, been throwing the ball pretty good lately. This is a different situation to come in. You got a team that's, they tie it up and things are going good. All of a sudden they go down with the 2-run home run by Neil Walker. You got to come in and try and be up. This is very challenging for any pitcher, especially a young pitcher. See how Bruce fares with the situation.
1 ball and 1 strike. James Loney, the batter, with 1 out, 2 runs in. On the outer edge, 1 and 2 now on Loney. Single and 3 at bats in this game. Mets only have 5 hits in this contest. However, 2 of them are home runs. And the 2-run shot here by Walker, putting them ahead.
Really, all three runs by home runs. Solo shot by Conforto, 2-run by Walker.
Well, the closer for the Mets loosening up, Jerry's Familia. There's Walker. He has given them the lead.
Always want to talk about it, don't you?
Yep.
There's things you want to talk about in this game and you don't want to talk about in this game.
Broken Matt Roller towards second. Kinsler.
And a home run is something you do want to talk about. The play at the end of the inning for the Tigers, probably not, but it's all a good conversation. Work it out. So did you understand my explanation on that play?
Which play? This last one?
The one that ended the last inning.
Oh. The one that, yeah.
People have to get frustrated with that, but I mean, this is just one of those plays that it's unexplainable. It really is. They played so well.
Well, it just gets back to the fact that this is a pretty hard game. I mean, there are a lot of moving parts to this game sometimes.
And a lot of moving runners on that last one.
Yeah, there were. But when you play as many games as these guys do, stuff like that will happen. And ball stroked to center field, but Romine is there, and that's going to be the end of the inning.
Chance to come back.
Nice job, Rondon. And when we get to the bottom of the 9th, McCann, Romine, and Kinsler. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com to see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. And by Infinity, visit your local Detroit area Infinity retailer for a test drive today. Well, Tigers T-shirt Fridays continue on August 19th. Tigers battle the Boston Red Sox at 7:10 p.m. Get a game ticket plus a Justin Verlander emoji T-shirt when you purchase exclusively at Tigers.com/T-shirt Fridays.
Got a new pitcher, Yuri's Familia, the Mets closer, 38 out of 40 save opportunities, ERA at 2.96, 52 strikeouts, 23 walks. Can be wild at times. Most saves in the major leagues. You see there, 38 out of 40. Very tough. Good fastball, good breaking ball, slider. Goes very hard, 98, 99 miles an hour. Tigers need a runner. Get that tying run to the plate.
Saltalamacchia will bat for McCann here.
I think he throws a split as well.
And Salty looks at a strike on the outside corner.
Another shift. It's not even, it's just so normal right now, huh? They weren't shifted. We'll start reporting that.
Exactly. That's the way the game is going. Here's the 0-1. Try to check it, and he did. 1 ball, 1 strike. Saltalamacchia this year is 1 for 10 as a pinch hitter, and that 1 hit was a home run. I was in Chicago on the recent trip.
Well, we'll take a home run. We'll just take a base runner. We'll do just fine as well.
Swing and a miss.
That's
1-2.
Hard slider right there. A lot of depth to that ball. See how far that ball went down?
Familia is 26 years old, out of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. 43 saves last year.
Ahead of that pace this year.
Missed it high and away, 2-2.
Need to get somebody on for Ian Kinsler, who is going to be up following Andrew Romine. Came into the game for Tyler Collins in the last time around.
Swing and a miss, and Salty down on strikes, 1 gone.
I believe this is another slider right here. It's just going to go straight down. See, he's got the fingers on the side of the ball. Goes straight down. There's not much side-to-side movement at all on that slider.
That'll bring up Romine. Andrew had an infield single part of that 7th inning in which the Tigers tied it up with a run. And he looks at a strike. Looked to be a touch off the plate, but not so, says Bill Miller. Tigers have out-hit the Mets today 10-5, but they're down by 2. Strike called, 0-2 on Romine.
That ball was really swinging back. That ball looked like it was going to be inside. A lot of movement. Swung back over and caught the inside corner.
Now Familia with the 0-2. Romine got a piece of it.
Well, you can see the save leaders in Major League Baseball. Familia, #1. Frankie Rodriguez, you see him down there in 4th at 32.
Here's the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Romine. Waiting on deck is Ian Kinsler, who delivered the base hit in the 7th, which tied the ball game at 1 at that point. Then Walker hit a 2-run homer in the 9th.
You just got to expect ROMINE to get on for the Tigers to make another play at tying this game up. Maybe taking the lead.
It'll make it 2 balls and 2 strikes.
For the Tigers, you were talking about it earlier. They just grind at bats out. They kind of pass the baton from one hitter to the next. I think Brad's saying is keep the line moving. Everybody's bought into that very well. Make the opponent earn everything they got coming to them. Let's swing back fastball here.
Got him, strike 3. ROMINE caught looking.
ROMINE thought that was headed for his ribs. That's how far that ball came back over the plate. Watch his reaction. It's a 2-seamer. Look how far it comes back.
Wow.
He's thinking that ball's 3-4 inches off the dish. It ends up right down the middle of the plate, but you can't pull the trigger.
So with 2 outs, here is Kinsler now. The Tigers down to their last chance here against Familia. Ian looks at ball 1.
Here's the 1-800 call Sam call the game. Brad pinch hits Ian Kinsler in the 7th. It's a little number off the end of the bat. Champ scores. Tied the game at 1-1. Unfortunately, 2-run home run by Mr. Walker has put the Mets up 3-1.
Well, this homestand started with the Tigers sweeping the Astros. They won the series against the White Sox 2-1, and they won the first 2 here against the Mets. But down to their last out today, the 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Okay, the next scenario in my mind, Kinsler and Iglesias get on, and then what?
And then Miggy hits a 3-run homer
To win the game. It's my next vision.
Here's the 2-1. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Nice stop there, but no play. It'll be an infield hit. Here's step 1 of your vision. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. Iglesias. It's 2 hits for Kinsler, and he didn't even start the game.
Yeah, 2 for 2. So again, I'm not going for the tie. I'm going all the way.
You're going for the win here.
Going for the win. Normally, I'm all up for tying the game up and going 20 innings. You know that.
Yeah, well, what about today? Why not today?
I'm going a little bigger.
Okay.
Here's see Miggy's waiting to come up with 2 men on. Put it into it.
Swing and a miss. 0-1 on Iglesias. On base a couple of times today. Infield hit and an error.
Alex Wilson just in case.
Familia. Runner going. The 0-1 pitch going to bounce in and it's going to get away. Kinsler on his way to third and he's in there standing up. So he was moving on the pitch and he scoots all the way to third.
Here's Ian Kinsler right here. You see he's way off and he reads the ball very good. Darno doesn't see where the ball goes, loses it, and Ian's on his way. Got his head on a swivel. Now here, if I'm Iggy, I'm looking at how can I get on base. The third baseman is back.
Strike called.
He wouldn't do it with 2 strikes. You can see any way you look at it. I mean, you're not gonna bunt with 2 strikes. These guys are back. But I like the play. Get on base, let Miggy win it.
Now the 1-2 coming home. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. They'll throw down at first to complete the strikeout, and the Mets will end up winning this one here today. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. Tigers still take 2 out of 3 in this series and wrap up a marvelous homestand, despite the fact they fall here this afternoon to the Mets.
Well, actually, it's a pretty good Mets team. They've been pretty hard, and they were in the World Series last year. So, like you say, 2 out of 3 is not bad. They saw some pretty good pitching. Their starters have been pretty good, and they proved up to that. But the Tigers unable to work their magic today. Unfortunately, go down 3-1 and get a shower, get on the plane, and head out to Seattle. We'll see you tomorrow.
Final score here this afternoon: the Mets won it 3-1. We'll be back to Comerica Park.